Hey, what's up everybody? Sean, we're back here, Krusty Customs Garage. Welcome. This is just a further progress on our 88 Festiva. Her name is Ruby. There's a few things that we've done to the car that I haven't done a video on just because it's pretty basic stuff, and I wanted to go over that with you. The first thing being these, however you say it, Miglia, I don't know. Anyway, they're older, 14-inch aluminum wheels. They are 4 on 100, so if you look in there, see there is a spacer. I know that some of you Festiva purists are going to have something negative to say about that. I don't care. It has new bearings all around, so I don't care. So in a previous video we added our festive seat covers. Those are going to be eliminated soon because we're going to put new seats in. We've got our steering wheel upgrade. I do like it. It's much smaller in diameter. It makes the car feel a little bit sportier to drive. We also have some issues. You can see there's a blanket covering that side of the car, and that's for good reasons, because I've already done an upgrade that I didn't want you to see in its finished form until I show you how to do it and then install it on this side. If you remember, or if you've seen my door panel video, it was cool. I really like the way these door panels came out, but as you can see here, sorry about the wind here. Of course, it picks up now that I've started my video. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, there's some issues. I prepped the hell out of these door panels. I put spray glue on both sides. I let it tack up. I am not a rookie when it comes to doing door panels or headliners. But this glue, and I'll show you what that glue is in a second, is a huge disappointment. I just wanted to, if you're new to Festivas or really doing any kind of door panel on a car, I just wanted to show you, I'm going to show you what the importance of good prep and using the right products are. I used a new product that I thought would be good based on its name, and it is garbage. But we'll get to that in a minute. To get these door panels off, you can see with this peeled away, there's a bunch of these plastic clips that go along the top, down along the bottom, and then right here, there's a screw. Back in here, there's a little clip back behind that holds the window crank on. There's a screw in there, and there's 2 screws here. So I'm going to knock those out. I'm going to get this door panel off. We're going to rip off this crappy vinyl. So I'll be right back after I do that. Alright guys, we're back. I just wanted to break away from that door panel segment to just send a shout out to someone. Well, 2 people. I've got a good friend who, his nickname is Gumby. I won't say his real name on this video, but he's been a good friend of mine for about 15, 16, 17 years or so. And he's always been a good friend to me. And I love the guy and I appreciate him. And he's the one responsible. He saw one of my videos and he's like, your lighting sucks. And in a previous video I showed that lighting. I'm kind of filming through my mosquito net here, so hopefully it comes out okay. But the lighting in my garage is now excellent thanks to him supporting my channel. And I'm proud to say now that another friend of mine, his name is Michael. I won't mention your last name, but you know who you are. He has sent me a really cool gift for my Festiva, and it's actually my first subscriber gift. I met him through my channel and through FordFestiva.com on Facebook. That cool group on there. Those guys were really helpful. If you have a Ford Festiva, an older Ford Festiva mainly, first generation, or a Mazda 121 or a Kia Pride, if you live overseas, then you should go on that page because it's cool. Anyway, Michael sent me this gift. The Festiva normally comes with a prop rod like most other Econo box cars like this, but he sent me a hood prop. I was actually looking to get one of these. So this showed up in the mail the other day. Michael and I have, he's bought things from me, I've bought things from him. Just an all-around good guy. So Mike, thank you, and Gumby, of course, thank you for everything, dude. You're the man. Michael, again, thanks. So yeah, I have a hood prop. Yes. All right, so we're back on the this is just disappointing to me. So in the last video, you know, we took our time, we did a nice job laying this vinyl on here, gluing it down, and everything looked great when we put it in, right? I thought they looked pretty decent. But the glue, it's literally nothing holding it on, really. A couple little spots where the glue thought about working. Well, quick time to say some negative stuff about something. Gorilla Spray Adhesive, heavy duty. I don't know what you would use this for, but it says right on the container, it bonds wood and metal and fabric and foam and plastic and glass and leather and more. Well, I have fabric. I don't know what this shit is. Something. I have no idea. Wood, maybe, chopped up in little bits. Either way, it says heavy duty bond, indoor, outdoor. No. Nope. Done. I'm going to go back to what I'm used to. That's either the Super 77 or my real go-to, the 3M headliner adhesive. This stuff, I'm in Ohio now, but even in Florida, where it gets really ripping hot, especially when you're out in the sun and your windows are up and it's humid. Haven't had a failure. Nice fart can, bro. Anyway, this stuff is awesome. Anyway, we'll set that aside. This is, of course, just old school, like farmhouse, plaid, not plaid, probably whatever. Anyway, that's what's going on my door panel. What also is going on the door panel is this set, and again, thank you, Gumby. This set of JL Audio C2 650s. It's a 6.5-inch component set. Separate crossover, of course, if you're familiar with audio. Nice speaker grill to cover it. And then I used my router and circle cutting jig to make a standoff or a spacer to go on the outside of the door panel, because the speaker is way too deep, and if you just mount this right to the door panel, you can't put your window down all the way. So yeah, I had to cut this. This is 3/4 inch MDF, just cut to fit, fits perfectly, done deal. So first things first, upholster the panel, and then we'll cut the holes. We'll do a little soundproofing around the speaker opening, because you do have to trim a little bit of metal out of your door as well. Not much, it's about a piece about that big for the speaker for the magnet to clear. You just clip it in, run a little bit of wiring. These cars did come with power windows, so my car did not, but there's grommets in the door and in the A-pillar that you can remove or punch holes in. And that's where I'm going to run my speaker wire to my crossover, which will be housed in the door. And then we'll be done with that part. So I may get into one more panel, and that's right here. Maybe, sort of, kind of. All right, well, yeah, it's way over there, and it's in the abyss. But it's the rear hatch trim panel that covers up your wiring in the hatch. And if you have a rear wiper, it covers that junk up too. But anyway, I'm going to crack on here. We're just going to spray a nice even coat of adhesive here, and we're going to spray a nice coat of adhesive on the back of the fabric. Let it sit for a few minutes to get tacky. Smush them together, smooth them out, keep the wrinkles down, and that's about it. We'll figure out where our speaker placement's going to be. You cut a hole here, we're going to cut a hole here for the tweeter, and we're done. Smack it in there. I do a little wiring. Easy peasy. If you have any questions about audio installation, this is pretty basic stuff, but I've been doing this. I think I installed my first car audio system in a car with my old pal Steve. I don't know if you watch this stuff, Steve, but old childhood friend that I'm still friends with. Him and I think I installed a stereo with him in an old Ford EXP, I think, or maybe it was his father's station wagon. I think it was the old red Ford Fairmont station wagon. But if any of you know my buddy Steve, and he hasn't watched this, what's up, dude? But anyway, enough reminiscing. Let's get busy. Trimmed out. Probably sped that video up a little for you, but man, it is only 20 after 8 in the morning. The humidity is so thick. This is gonna be a fun video. I can tell already. Oh man. Okay, so what I usually do, I'm gonna get this audio out of the way first. So I'll spray glue all over it. Sorry, I usually just double check my fit. Everything looks really good. So what I'm going to do is I spray in segments. So I'm going to spray this would be the top half of the panel. Just going to spray that and spray the fabric first. And since I don't want another replay of what happened with that Gorilla Crap glue, I'm going to use the good stuff. If it sprays right. Oh boy, there we go. There we go. Now she's cooking. Nope, she was. Oh. I'm going to change this to Nothing Goes Right Garage. Alright, so we'll let that sit, get tacky, and then we'll flip it. Sorry, it's ripping hot in here. We'll just let that set up for just a minute. We'll speed through that, we'll smooth it out, we'll do the bottom half, we'll cut some holes, we'll mount some speakers, run one wire through the doors, and then we'll show you what our finished, well, sort of finished product is. We still have the door handles, the pull handle to open the door, and the armrest are gray. They don't match anymore because everything's going to be black and red in there eventually. So we'll need to get some paint on those. I'm not going to do that today because the humidity is already like 80% and it's going to be like 9,000 degrees. So I'm just going to spray my adhesive, smooth out this fabric, and then we'll just be right back. It's kind of a boring process. Then we'll move on to speakers and wiring and finished product. We'll be right back. Alright, so we've got everything all upholstered, smoothed out on the front side. If you flip it over, just a couple quick little tips. First off, I'm not a professional. If you are a professional, you're laughing at me right now for the way I do this. But there were some cracks in this door panel, so I used a little Gorilla tape. The Gorilla spray adhesive sucks, but Gorilla tape is awesome. So what I did is I cut some little slits, and what that does is allow me to fit the fabric kind of around the clips that hold it onto the door, and I just kind of pull my way around. When you get to a corner, I cut a bunch of these little pie cuts. Now I'll bring you in real quick. So yeah, so I made a bunch of these little pie cuts, and what that lets you do is pull it around the corner really, really nice. Like that. So you don't have any creases or anything, or any, like, if you don't trim out these pieces, they all clump together and they leave these little mounds all around the corner. And when you go to put the panel back on, it's going to make the panel sit uneven. It's going to push the panel off the door, and that's no good. So I'm going to continue around. It's hard to do one-handed. So I'm going to continue around with this. I'll flip it back over. I'll show you what it looks like. Then of course we have to cut out the window crank hole, the door handle hole, cut a couple slits or a couple little holes for the armrest, and then yeah, then it's as simple as cutting a hole here, which pretty much already have it. A little hole here for the tweeter. And I'm just going to show you the finished product. If you're still watching this, one, thank you. You're brave. Two, I really appreciate you guys. So hopefully this will inspire somebody to maybe redo their door panels. Because I know if they looked anything like mine, oof, nasty. Anyway, we'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. Got the finished door panel. Pretty basic, honestly. Just some fabric, some glue, a razor blade, or scissors, whatever you choose. It's easier to trim out these holes with a razor blade than it would be with scissors. At least to me it is. That's why I go with the razor blade. But yeah, so what we're gonna do now is pretty simple. You basically just cut your speaker hole, your tweeter hole. You run a speaker wire through the grommet in the door, which I'll show you where those grommets are. And then we're just gonna fast forward, show you the finished product, and we'll wrap this one up. So, just real quick, this is what the back looks like. You can see there's the cutout, fabric pulled over. Some folks will cut these holes out flush. There won't be any overlap. I don't like doing that because the extra fabric on the back glued down just keeps everything in place a lot better. Keeps stuff over time. There's going to be, maybe the weather will have an effect. I don't know. I've never used this fabric before. But you can see on the small holes and the big holes, I've pulled that fabric around and glued it down. So just an amateur tip for anybody out there that's going to try this. Anyway, I'll show you where those grommets are now. All right, hopefully you can see up in here, but there's this rubber grommet. Hopefully you can see me moving it with my finger. That goes through the A-pillar, right in behind the dash. Real easy to get to, piece of cake. And down here, just a little bit lower, down on the door itself, there's another one. These are real easy, they pop right out. Just drill a hole. What I usually do is drill or cut a little plus sign in each grommet, feed my wiring through where I want it to go, and then I'll put a little dab of silicone on there to keep it from taking on water. Not that it really would, I don't think, but better safe than sorry. So, you guys ready for the big unveil? You guys ready to see the magic? Not really, but anyway, to me it looks a million times better. I've already done the driver's side, and except for the handles, and here it is. So yeah, fabric's in place. Again, door handle, door pull, armrest, not painted yet. They kind of stand out and I hate it, but that'll be down the road when it's not so thick outside humidity wise. I did also have a huge issue with window cranks. This is an aluminum window crank off of Amazon, and I did have to modify the little collars. It's like a universal fit inside here. There's like little sleeves that go over a bunch of different types of cars. Of course, the Festiva was not one of the cars that those sleeves fit on. So I had to drill it out to open it up, and it has a bunch of set screws that kind of lock it onto the spline of the regulator. So you lock that on, then you slide this handle over. There's 3 set screws that hold the handle onto the collar, and then you got yourself a new window crank. And it's black. I think it looks so much better. Here's that trim ring that I made. There's my tweeter. Now, I have not figured out a solution for my wire going from the car to the door as far as covering it. I may end up just honestly taking some Gorilla Tape, taking a little flap and wrapping it over just to make it not as noticeable. It's kind of annoying to me. So anyway, that's it. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed following me along so far on this build of Ruby. I got so much more stuff to do. I just work full-time. This channel is tiny, so it's not paying any bills, not yet. Hopefully with your help, if you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed, please do. I'd really like to get to 1,000 subscribers sooner than later. That would be awesome, just to say I got there. And also shout out to Camping Companions, my friends Kevin and Amy. They have about 750 subscribers. I have about 220 subscribers. They are way ahead of me in that aspect, but I'd really love to beat them to 1,000. So if you guys want to help me out with that, subscribe. That would be awesome. Again, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.